Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2 of that series where you bully me for the way that I pronounce Pearly. The first part did really well, you guys really seemed to enjoy it, and I had a great time making it. Plus, there are plenty more rap lyrics that didn't age so well to talk about, so I wanted to follow up that video ASAP. ASAP? Perhaps that's a little bit of foreshadowing for later on in this video, who knows? Anyway, hey guys, it's that version of CDTV here who always plugs things, and I am pleased to announce that this video is sponsored by me. I have a Patreon now. I mean, I've had the page for years, but it wasn't very good, and the tiers weren't very good either, so I've revamped all of that, and I'm promoting it again. Early access to my videos, your name on the screen at the end of each one, and some exclusive CDTV content that only my patrons will see, are the main perks that are available to you if you wish to support me. For example, if you join right now at the $5 tier and above, you'll get exclusive access to my revisited reaction to Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight by Travis Scott. A revisited reaction is basically where I go back to albums that I've already heard but haven't listened to in a long time and see if any of my thoughts have changed on that album. If that sounds like something that interests you, then click the link down in the description and become a patron of mine today. But of course, if you don't want to, that's also fine. You're gonna get the same amount of content that you regularly would. It's just the patrons get a little bit extra sometimes. Back into the video, guys. Let's get into this banger video, guys. This is CDTVProductions, Pearly Aged Rap Lyrics 2, What It Do. So that was a fucking lie. Boy, he looks like a trustable, solid young man. I really hope he doesn't go and snitch on his crew, therefore invalidating his lyrics about not saying anything when the police pull up on him. I'm pretty sure everyone watching this video is already very familiar with this whole 6ix9ine fiasco. This song was released in May 2018, and 6ix9ine testified in court that he started snitching on his associates the day after he was arrested in November 2018. According to this article from Vulture, during his testimony, he snitched on alleged 9 Trey members Nook, Harv, and Shotty, while also mentioning the rappers Trippie Redd, Jim Jones, Cardi B, Casanova, and Chief Keef, along with their alleged gang affiliations. As you can tell, the problem with these lines is that 6ix9ine did, in fact, know what happened. And that is knowledge that he made very clear to the people who wanted to know. If you want to hear more about this situation in depth, I'd highly recommend checking out Traplore Ross's series on 6ix9ine, specifically the video about the trial itself. That's a video that I watched before scripting this segment, and you hear literally every detail that you need to hear from that case. Regardless of whether you think 6ix9ine should have snitched or not, one thing that we can agree on is that it did make quite a few of his songs, including this one, sound like a complete facade in retrospect.
You ain't even know it. I die over these Reeboks. You ain't even know it. Put Molly all in us.
The funny thing is, the whole reason why this line aged poorly is because of the very next line of this Rick Ross verse. You see, at the time this song dropped, Rick Ross had a sponsorship deal with Reebok, hence him shouting them out in his verse and saying that he would give his life over these easily replaceable £70 shoes. But that deal would not last very long, as Rick Ross followed up his Reebok sponsorship shoutout with the lines, "I put Molly all in her champagne, she ain't even know it. I took her home and enjoyed that. She ain't even know it." Fucking yikes. He followed a brand endorsement with a date rape line. Now, I've worked with a few brands before, and I'm pretty sure the general air you get from the requirements they send you is not to mention rape alongside their products. The line, of course, is awful on its own, but surely he knew that there would be consequences with that. Safe to say, Reebok dropped him pretty quickly after this song's release. And you know what else in this situation aged like milk in the Sahara? Rick Ross's apologies for the line. They were all a little long, but here's some highlights that I've picked out from them to read to you guys. It was a misunderstanding with a lyric. A misinterpretation where the term rape wasn't used. I would never use the term rape. Jesus Christ, Rick Ross. The term did not have to be used there. The line, "I took her home and enjoyed that, she ain't even know it," explicitly implies it. In reality, some people do these things, and shouldn't it be brought to light so young women can protect themselves? If that was your intention, sir, then you brought it up in the worst way possible, because it sounds like you're bragging about sex with an unconscious, non-consenting woman. Someone on Ross's PR team must have realized that these apologies absolutely shit the bed, because just one day after he was dropped from his Reebok deal, Rick Ross, or more likely someone on his PR team, wrote and released an actual apology for the lyrics that acknowledged what was wrong with the line. A messy situation indeed. Why he chose to say those lines in the first place, I will never know.
I still express, yo, I don't smoke weed or cess, cause it's known to give a brother brain damage. And brain damage on the mic don't manage nothing.
Is this the real Dr. Dre that said this? The same Dr. Dre who dropped an album called The Chronic 4 years after the album that contained this line? The Dr. Dre who has a weed leaf on his 2001 album cover? This is the same man talking on this lyric about not smoking weed because it apparently gives you brain damage. Either Dre changed his opinions on the good old green stuff pretty drastically in 4 years, or these lines were just a complete lie to make the song more radio friendly. The irony of that being that the song is all about being yourself and calls out other rappers for being different to how they portray themselves. Now, who knows, maybe Dre did just flip pretty quickly from non-weed smoker to massive spliff toker in 4 years. That is possible. But the line is just very funny to hear nowadays when we know that this is the same man that went on to have an album cover based off of zigzag rolling papers, and the CD for that album just had a massive marijuana leaf printed on it. And he went on to become one of the first people you think of when you think weed and hip hop. Now that we've talked about a few of these lyrics in depth, let's do a speed round before we get on to the last one on here. Are you guys ready? These are gonna fly by pretty fast. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
My name is Corday, but don't forget the YBN.
Corday has now left YBN.
No more baby mamas, shout out to my only baby mama.
Lil Wayne now has 4 children with 4 different women.
I could never have a kid, then be out here still kidding around.
Please refer to the story of Adidon at the 1 minute and 43 seconds mark.
If I could predict my future, I bet 100 million.
100 million what, Vic? L's?
I want a real love, dark skin and Aunt Viv love, that Jada in that weird love.
Entanglement. Well, that does it for the speed round, so let's move on to our final pearly aged lyric.
Set a slit. Go to young Lord, A$AP Barry, he legit. Money. And a young boy, he ain't kinda off the shit. Young Fuckin' with them boys out of Harlem, but it's it. This is Gosha.
Man, A$AP Rocky really nailed the shitty person shoutout roulette with this set of lines. In just 4 lines, he gave shoutouts to 3 people who have pretty questionable reputations now. Let's go through them one by one. Case number 1. Jabari A$AP Barry Shelton, the co-founder of A$AP Mob and the streetwear brand V-Lone. In January 2019, he pled guilty to 1 count of sexual assault against a woman in a London hotel room, with video evidence of him demanding sex from the woman and placing his hands on her body after she asked him to stop. It is worth mentioning, A$AP Rocky did later change these lyrics to A$AP Barry, he a bitch, when performing this song live, and then was seen hanging out with A$AP Barry within a week of doing that. So do with that information what you will. Case number 2. Ian Connor, stylist, model, and A$AP Mob associate. He has been accused of rape by multiple different women, with 33 different allegations against him as of now. Now, I know these are allegations, not convictions, but you have to question what the odds are of this many different women telling the same lie about one person. And it's not a good look that he took to Twitter to confidently mock and laugh at these allegations as they came out, which in my opinion is not something that any rational, sane, innocent person would do. Kinda reminds me of another incredibly sharp man in a similar situation right now. People have also said that once again there is video evidence that exists of him inappropriately touching a woman after she told him no, but I personally couldn't find enough sources to confirm that. So if anyone watching this has more information on the validity of that video's existence, let me know. Ironically, one of the only people in Ian Connor's circle to call him out on his rape allegations was ASAP Bari. And last but not least, case number 3. Gosha Rubchinsky, a Russian fashion designer. In December 2018, he was accused of pressuring a 16-year-old boy into sending him explicit photos of himself, allegations which he has denied. His team claims that the requests are standard within the fashion industry to facilitate the casting of models, and were taken out of context and modified to look malicious. And okay, maybe that's possible. Maybe Gosha didn't have any malicious intentions here, and he was just concerned about finding the best model for the shoot. But even in that case, it calls into question the morals of the fashion industry, where it is procedure for grown men to ask boys aged 16 and below for topless photos of themselves, sometimes in their underwear, over social media directly to cast them for a shoot. No one sees how this procedure could be abused very easily. At the very least, Rocky's line here highlighted a lot of questionable people and standards that exist within the fashion industry. Well guys, that is going to be it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed this one, and if you want to see more of this series, just let me know down in the comments below. I really do have a lot of fun making these videos. I don't know why, but I just find them so interesting how I can take simple lyrics and really dive into the context of them like this. Like, I've enjoyed the videos that I've put out recently, but this poorly aged rap lyric series, this is the most fun to me right now. So of course, I would appreciate you leaving a like and subscribing if you want to see more videos in this series, and just more videos like this and the other ones I've been putting out. And like I said at the start, my Patreon is linked down in the description below. So if you guys want to support me, you can do that. If not, of course, that's perfectly fine. You're still going to get the content that you always would get. It's just that the patrons, they get a little bit extra because they are paying money. So that's all I've got to say for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one, and this is CDTV Productions, signing out.